minutes.
And counting.
Something like that. Need more decibels than that. Turn it up to 11.
Are we playing Stonehenge?
No, I need to not lean. But it's so easy to just, like,
It's so
Yeah,
easy
it's
to
so
lean.
easy.
do like a like a slight lean. So I don't look stiff, but I'm also not edgy. You guys like have some music going when
Does that mean I can dance?
I don't.
that first image is
I don't know.
Yeah, we should start and end with a dance party.
What?
Dance
Right?
party?
On the tables. Let's go.
Where we start? Dance party.
Fun.
Ed, are you laughing at me?
Fun.
Ed's laughing at me.
Boy, I can actually hear myself think now.
What?
20 seconds.
Boy, those seconds take a long time.
Exciting.
Yep.
3 seconds. It sounded good for my
Hello, everybody. It is Monday, February 18th, 2019. It's President's Day. I'm
Yay.
Chris Phillips. Welcome to D&H TV. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about unified communication and video collaboration solutions that you can that are out there right now in the market. We're going to be going over what a complete unified communication solution looks like, and we'll be talking about some of the resources that are available here at D&H to help you sell video collaboration and unified communication to your customers. Joining me today is Bill Hersh, D&H's vendor business manager for unified communication and video conferencing. Is that right?
That's correct.
That is a long job title.
It is a long job title. I will not disagree with you.
And Maggie Austin is joining us from NEC. She is the account manager for NEC Display Solutions. How's it going?
Great. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for
It's
having
awesome to actually be able to do this here today. We usually do them on a Tuesday, but you were in here and we needed to have you in here for today. So, to start, basically for the customers that don't know or aren't familiar with what unified communications and video conferencing is, can you kind of go over briefly what unified communications video conferences is and what kind of solutions it entails?
Unified communications is basically any type of communications that involves a computer network, servers, PCs, any devices, that sort of thing. Video collaboration involves adding a quasi-real-life component to that with screens and cameras to enable you to actually get the full effect of expression and body language and everything that goes with communication.
Are we doing video collaboration right now?
We are doing video right now. We are not doing video collaboration.
Okay, why
If
is
we,
that?
if we were doing video collaboration, then every one of our viewers would have a camera there, and we would be watching them too.
But
And that's going to get unwieldy right away.
But I can't. What I will say is, we do have a chat section over on the I believe it's the right-hand side. If they have any questions, they can interact with us that way.
Unified communications.
There you go.
Ta-da.
So, with that being said, what kind of markets do we see across all the spectrums? What kind of markets do we see video collaboration, unified communication playing into? You can.
Well, I know
Please.
that NEC, we really break it down into 3 main markets that we focus on. So that would be higher ed, corporate, so business, whether that's financial, et cetera, and then also K through 12,
Okay.
which would be a more simplified solution. And then we also break it down into kind of 3 collaboration categories from there. So that would be just an interactive whiteboard. Then there's team collaboration, and then also video conferencing or like wireless presenting. So we kind of break it into those 3 categories, and then those fit into the verticals in different ways.
Okay, and
Wow. That's a lot of thought process. That's good. That's
It's a
good
lot,
stuff.
and we
But-
can help you navigate it.
And yeah, and with that being said, it is a lot for any of our VAR or MSP customers. That kind of wide description can make it a little bit aimless. Where do I go? How do I start? Is there a specific way any of our resellers that don't offer these kinds of solutions right now should start doing it? Should they focus on one vertical or one type of solution? Is there a best practice to kind of get their feet wet in this kind of?
I would say we encourage our customers, our resellers, to start by talking with their end user and asking the right questions. And we can certainly help with those questions. We have our Infinity Board product, and we actually have a questionnaire that we could send a reseller that lists out the questions that they could ask their end user. And then based on how those questions are answered, we can build out the solution for them, the best collaboration solution. And sometimes it can be very simple, and sometimes it can be very elaborate, depending on what that end user needs.
Makes sense.
Training resources as well. Is that D&H offers some? We'll talk a little bit about that later, but that's another good way to get started.
D&H offers a wide selection of vendor-provided training resources. We find that we have a number of different vendors whose products come together to make a good solution.
Okay.
We do have some vendors like NEC who actually provide a much broader swath of product that all fit into the solution. But we find that it makes a lot of sense too to talk to one or two third-party vendors to see what their thoughts are, so that our customers and their end users can get a bigger picture and a better idea of where they can go with it.
Okay.
Typically, it's looking at the business problem and how you want to fix it.
Right. So let's take an example of a business problem and how some of our resellers try and fix it. One of the more common solutions that we get requests for is just a basic video conferencing solution. We'll start from the wall forward, and it usually starts at the display. And the number one question and the number one comment I get all the time when I'm quoting solutions and talking to customers about solutions is, why do you need a commercial grade display? Why can't you just use a consumer grade display? They're cheaper. The conference room isn't going to be on 24/7 anyway.
We both have answers.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And I have answers too, but I will.
I'd like to hear yours.
Very excited.
We'll start with you.
That's my normal look.
Yeah.
What is the number one thing you tell a customer when they're looking for just a basic display for a conferencing solution?
Yeah, well, conferencing and collaboration is a lot more elaborate than just a display. Normally you need touch capability, so that would be a big thing that's going to be difficult to find in a consumer display. And also you have to be able to connect to a wide variety of devices and platforms. Like, for example, for most collaboration, you're connecting to, the end users, all the different people, their devices, their laptops, their phones. In a lot of schools and businesses now, there's BYOD,
Yes.
bring your own device. So not every consumer display can handle those capabilities, which is why you need to turn to a commercial option like NEC.
NEC offers, in my experience, a broader selection of more than just screens, though. Your touch capabilities and the
Yes.
PC capabilities behind that offer a lot more. If we're looking at a non-smart display type of solution, then you need to add in the other pieces. You need to add in the PC, you need to add in the camera, you need to add in the screen, you need to add in the speakers, and everything all the pieces that you don't think about that
Right.
make up communication between two or more people. And we can provide all those pieces through different vendors, although in fairness, our typical recommendation has always been the fewer vendors, the better. So if you've got a one-stop solution,
Yes.
that's in our mind always the better way to go.
Yeah, and we definitely have both options. So with NEC, you can end up with the all-in-one solution where we kind of provide a majority of those components for collaboration. But then we also have the option, because our displays are commercial and our projectors are commercial, they work with a wide range of third-party devices as well. So they can really connect to a lot of other vendors that you guys carry. It doesn't have to just be NEC in the solution.
The one thing I'll note and keep in mind, when you're taking a commercial, this is the thing I have to tell everyone, when you take a commercial device or a consumer device, put it in a commercial environment, that device no longer has a warranty. In most cases, consumer devices don't have a warranty in commercial. And more so,
So you put it in a boardroom instead of in a lobby,
yes,
and it's got an issue.
and more so, consumer displays are really only designed to be looked at head on. Whereas if you're in a conference environment, you have a large table, so you need a wider field of view. Most commercial displays offer a wider field of view than any consumer display. So those are like the two main focuses. Also, general brightness. we're in a bright area. You need to be able to see the display.
Right.
Consumer displays just don't have the amount of brightness to overcome the office lights. So
Yeah, and I would say runtime as well. Like
Yes.
if you're in a higher ed college situation where you have kids, you know, studying all day long into the night hours, you're going to have people interacting with displays, you know, for 24/7, 16/7, which is why you need commercial.
So you brought up education. Do you have any success stories that of NEC solutions that have gone into, whether it's education, corporate, that you could share to kind of give our resellers an idea of what a complete solution looks like?
Yeah, absolutely. We had a great win with a college in Toronto, and what they were looking for is they're really trying to digitally transform their campus, and that's one of their initiatives. And a lot of higher ed education facilities are doing that as well. They want to bring learning, it doesn't want to just be in the classroom, but outside of the classroom as well, and technology can help students do that. So we basically help design these huddle rooms for the college campus in their library, so students can reserve the huddle rooms. They can get together either alone or with groups, study groups, or if they have a group project, and they can all collaborate together on one screen. So instead of your typical whiteboard, they can interact with the screen, they can project their presentations up to the screen and share that way, and then also save all their work from that that they've done on the screen. So we put some of our touch displays in there and helped them with the solution, and they've had great feedback for us. And there's actually a white paper out there on our website for it, so I recommend checking that out if you want more information.
Awesome. And you spoke at the beginning about the three verticals that NEC really plays into. What specifically, or why specifically, do they look at those three verticals? What solutions do they have available for each one? Is it something that scales up and down accordingly, or
Yeah.
why is it focused that way?
Absolutely. So we find that K through 12, obviously budget can be an issue. So
Yes.
yes. But then as well, they don't really need the robustness that, say, a corporate environment would need. They really just need an interactive whiteboard solution. They're not wirelessly presenting, and they don't have remote people somewhere else. It's all happening in that classroom. So they need just a very simplified, solution, and we have that. So you could just use one of our simple touch screens, and if you want to use our Canvas software, our Mosaic Canvas software, you can load that on, or you could use someone else's software. So that would be a very simplistic and cost-effective option. And then, of course, for higher ed, you're doing more team collaboration, so you kind of need a step up from there, maybe with some more robust software. And then for corporate, we have our Infinity board, which is really what we recommend for that environment. For the video conferencing, it includes cameras, speakers, a lot of accessory components that can really build out that full boardroom solution.
Okay.
So you can wirelessly present. I think we have a statistic that 85% of companies now have remote employees.
Yes.
So you're going to need something.
Here as well.
Yeah. So you
True.
need something that will, connect all those employees together. I just had a business review last week where we did it via video conference, and we're all in different states, looking at one another and presenting, one by one, which is really awesome. So that requires a lot more robust technology than just the K through 12 environment.
I know for a fact that my manager meeting this week is going to be done via video conference, so right there with you.
Yeah.
Need a place that I can go to sit down in front of a display and be able to not only present to it, but have them be able to be seen and see others as well. So when we're talking about the NEC solution specifically, something like the Infinity display, you talked about all the accessories and things of that nature.
Yes.
How modular is it for resellers to be able to customize that if they don't need a camera per se, or they need some kind of slot-in PC? What customization options, and is it compatible with other products as well?
Yeah, so ours is extremely modular. That's how we designed it. And that's actually why we have that questionnaire, because we want to make sure that what you're getting is what you actually need, and that we're not giving you extra stuff you don't need, or you're not missing things that are really required for your environment. So it's completely customizable. You can either just take our standard projector touchscreen and use it for collaboration. You could also go with our Infinity board, which is the all-in-one. But even the Infinity board itself, although it's all-in-one, is also customizable. And the best thing to do is we have a solutions team at NEC that we can get the resellers in contact with, and we can help build out this solution. It's a really quick process. It's painless, I promise. And so that's the best way to. It's definitely modular, and we encourage it to be.
Okay. All right.
that answers that.
And on the D&H side, when we get away from the displays, what kind of options do our resellers have through D&H for the telepresence equipment, the video conferencing equipment?
We have a number of different vendors. The first two that come to mind are Logitech
Okay.
and
Familiar.
very, very familiar. A lot of people think of Logitech as a keyboard and mouse company, which is so far from the truth in 2019. They've got VC solutions, video collaboration solutions for anything from one-on-one to up to 20 or 30 person boardrooms on each end. And they're very easy to implement, and they use industry standard products. So a PC from Intel or HP or Lenovo
Or a slotted
whoever,
PC,
or a slotted
that's
PC,
part of
whichever
an
way you
NEC
want to
board.
go.
Yeah.
And then they've got the cameras, the speakers, everything that goes with that.
Okay.
And then coming soon, and this may be news to a few people, but toward the end of April, we're going to be adding Polycom
Nice.
VC solutions to the palette here. We've already done very well with Plantronics, and since their purchase of Polycom, we are currently ramping up our knowledge base and getting ready to launch that product again toward the beginning of our fiscal May 1st.
And that's a good point. And transitioning to that, actually, Plantronics is a big player in our VoIP solutions. What options out there? I mean, it's a broad question because we have vendors like Unite for any meeting, Unite.
Right.
What options are out there on the VoIP side of things?
It depends how you want to do it, because there are two aspects to any VC, any UC solution, and that's going to be the products and then the services.
Yeah.
Because you need the service to connect the endpoints. When we get Polycom, we'll have voice over IP phones. We currently have H-Tech and Fanville phones,
Okay.
As well as Yeestar VoIP PBXs or voice over IP public branch exchange telephone boxes.
Right.
That pretty much make any network integrator now a phone guy if they choose to be. But then you get to the service part, and we start looking at things like Microsoft Teams and Skype for Business. And if you want to go this direction, you can go toward Microsoft or Intermedia or any number of other third-party providers
Zoom,
that
yeah.
actually provide telephony capabilities. So it's not just a video conferencing solution. Now you've got the phone too.
Right.
So if you want to go old school and pick up a device and hang it on your head, you can do that. If you want to use a headset, you can do that. But now the flexibility to do everything across one network at one time is not only capable, but it's simple. Any of our partners can get started at any level they want to.
Awesome.
And so
with all that being said, does D&H have any resources available to help our resellers get started, whether it's down the VoIP path or the unified communication path or video conferencing?
we have a number of vendor-specific resources. We have our Logitech sales specialist. We have our Plantronics working on becoming Polycom sales specialists, and we expect to probably add to those teams as we grow. We also have our D&H Solutions team that you're slightly familiar.
Vaguely familiar.
Right, I thought you might.
There's this one guy on there. He's kind of annoying. He's
I didn't want to talk about him, and all, but but the other thing to look at too is that for us, this is a new business. This is a new opportunity, and so we're building out resources right now. But what I would urge any of our partners to do is, as you have questions, bring them to your sales rep, bring them to the solutions team, and they'll make it back. At some point, they're going to end up making it to me or make it to one of the sales specialists upstairs, and we'll take it back to the vendors. And one way or another, we'll get you your answer.
Okay.
Our job here, in addition to that, we have marketing resources coming online,
Yeah.
so you're
Partner
able to
services team, yeah.
exactly. So you're able to advertise to your customers as a D&H partner. We can now service every aspect of your technology.
Awesome. On the NEC side, if our customers have any questions or need help getting started, do they have any resources to go to?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first I would encourage resellers to go to D&H, ProAV at dnh.com, that mailbox. Actually, that's the ProAV team works directly with me, so they can always loop me in and loop my team in to help you. Or, I can always help as well personally, and we can make sure it rolls through D&H and you guys are involved. So our solutions team is usually who I loop in on these collaboration type opportunities, so they can quote in the appropriate third-party vendors, or else you guys can as well. and they can really make sure we have the right solution for the customer.
Awesome. Well, Bill, Maggie, thank you so much for joining me today. A lot of great information. Again, if any of our resellers have any questions or anything they would like to add, please email us, solutionslab@dnh.com. We will get Bill or Maggie or any of our Pro AV specialists involved to kind of get those questions answered. We do have a number of technical webcasts on a bunch of UCC and video conferencing topics. We have an intermedia one. Just finished a Logitech webcast. Those are all available at dnh.com/solutionslab. We do have an upcoming webcast coming February 28th around Server 2019. Matt Allison will be presenting that. That'll be at 2 p.m. If you wanted more information on that, again, solutionslab@dnh.com. There's also a future webcast coming in April for Cisco Umbrella. We'll have more information on that near the end of the month. But with that being said, thank you for joining you. Bill, Maggie, thank you so much for joining me as well.
Thanks,
and we'll
Chris.
see you guys later.